We use the ICSI sperm injection technique to overcome the chemical and physical changes that occur in the outer zona membrane as a result of the egg freezing process. Following ultrasound-guided egg harvest, the eggs are incubated for about 2 hours and then examined by the embryologist. Maturity is confirmed by observing a round symmetrical egg cell with a center consisting mostly of water. A small polar body at the periphery indicates the egg is ready to begin the freezing sequence. The Landa technique allows multiple eggs to be processed sequentially through 4 solutions containing different concentrations of protective fluids at specific temperatures that will induce the exchange of water and cryoprotectants. This close-up view illustrates a human egg suspended in the Landa freezing solutions. Notice how the egg cell gradually shrinks as internal water is exchanged with the protective chemical fluids. The prepared eggs are now precisely loaded into carefully labeled straws. Fluid and air columns isolate the eggs from sudden changes in temperature and shield them from contamination. This drawing shows the precise location of the eggs within the freezing straw. Note the location of the name tag to ensure correct identification. Each step brings the eggs closer to the freezing ramp and the final plunge into liquid nitrogen. This part takes about 15 minutes. The straws containing the eggs are positioned in a programmable freezer that is set at a predetermined freezing protocol to chill the eggs to -7 degrees Celsius. The computer program can be set to a specific protocol to freeze either embryos or eggs. At -7 degrees, a process called seeding is activated by touching the chilled straw with very cold forceps to initiate slush particles that gradually move toward the egg chamber. This ensures the gradual spread of the cold wave advancing toward the eggs. Further chilling continues in the freezer to -37 degrees Celsius, culminating in the final plunge of the straw into liquid nitrogen at -196 degrees Celsius.
In artificial intelligence, an expert system is a computer system that emulates the decision-making ability of a human expert. Expert systems are designed to solve complex problems by reasoning about knowledge, represented primarily as E for euro of N rules rather than through conventional procedural code. The first expert systems were created in the 1970s and then proliferated in the 1980s. Expert systems were among the first truly successful forms of AI software. An expert system is divided into 2 subsystems, the inference engine and the knowledge base. The knowledge base represents facts and rules. The inference engine applies the rules to the known facts to deduce new facts. Inference engines can also include explanation and debugging capabilities. History: Edward Furstenbaum in a 1977 paper said that the key insight of early expert systems was that intelligent systems derive their power from the knowledge they possess rather than from the specific formalisms and inference schemes they use. Although, in retrospect, this seems a rather straightforward insight, it was a significant step forward at the time. Until then, research had been focused on attempts to develop very general-purpose problem solvers such as those described by Newell and Simon. Expert systems were introduced by the Stanford Heuristic Programming Project led by Furstenbaum, who is sometimes referred to as the father of expert systems. The Stanford researchers tried to identify domains where expertise was highly valued and complex, such as diagnosing infectious diseases and identifying unknown organic molecules.
Well, corn harvest is finally here, and you may be thinking to yourself, okay, before I buy some corn hybrids for next year, I got to get the very top yielders out there.
Oh no,
and
don't fall into that trap of just looking at what your yield is. I don't know how many times I talk to farmers, they say, well, this one out yielded the other one by 5 bushels. And my first question is, well, what was the moisture difference? And if the farmer doesn't know what that moisture difference is, we've got a little more investigation to do. And I know the same thing happens to us on our farm. We get all excited, we see, wow, this corn went 230 bushels. Well, wait a minute, what was the moisture?
And what was the test weight? Moisture and test weight are, in this day and age, probably more important than yield. Yep, I said it. Moisture and test weight more important than yield. Darren, I've been up all night crunching numbers here.
Oh, no, here we go. Brian is kind of a numbers guy, and you know, the worst thing that ever happened to him is finding out what a spreadsheet was, because ever since then, my life's been a little bit miserable. He's always analyzing things, so, you know, when we look at moisture, You got to think about, are you drying that corn down yourself? Do you have the drying capabilities on your farm? Or what are the drying discounts or the moisture discounts at the local terminal?
Yeah, but let's just get right to the numbers. And, you know, I was just kind of joking around. I haven't been up all night. This took me all of like 8 seconds. And you should do this every time in every field, every variety in your farm too. Okay, let's run some numbers on moisture. Let's just say, for example, that one variety yields exactly the same as the next variety, but it's 3 points wetter. What does that cost you? You say, oh, it's relatively close, right? Okay, well, 3 points of moisture, if you figure 6 cents a point for drying, 200 bushel corn, that amounts to $36 per acre. If you plant 30,000 population, in other words, 30,000 seeds per acre, that costs you $96 per bag.
Well, stop right there. You said $36 an acre. And when you think about it, I know for our farm, we're looking at how can we keep our costs in line. We're looking at our fertilizer program. Well, taking $36 out of a fertilizer program is a huge deal. We look at our herbicide program, it costs less than half of that, maybe a third of that. So you think, wow, if I trimmed my whole herbicide program out, that's only a small percentage of that. This moisture thing is way bigger than all those things. It's huge.